So Starlink, love it or hate it, we're gonna let you know. Welcome back to the shack. So huge shout out to my brother Dallas and his buddy Justin for sending us a Starlink for a trial run. We're going to set this up today and see how it works. We are very limited on options out here in this area. We are in a very rural area up on a mountain, and we, as long as with several neighbors, are pretty much at a loss for internet. Several times we have to drive off the mountain just to get a connection. There is service available out here, and without mentioning any names, we're just going to say it stinks.
It's terrible. Really
bad. And we are more than ready to tell them goodbye and say we've got something better. But first things first, we're going to give it a shot and see if it's even worth the time and the upfront $600 it costs to get it going. So again, thanks Dallas and Justin for letting us try before we buy. So let's unbox this thing. We're going to give you guys a true first impression. We have not even cut the tape on this box, so we're going to open it up and break it out and see what we got.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
That's my kind of instruction sheet.
Yeah, pictures, not a lot of words. That's what Jeff needs.
Big pictures. You can't lose it, and you can read it from across the room.
Okay, so that looks crazy simple, like crazy simple. All right, let's see what this thing looks like.
Okay.
Set this over here. Wow. Okay. Got our mount.
This is their mount.
This I've heard from other YouTubers that this is a very simple setup, and I'm looking at it and it is. It's already plugged in. Looks like a plug and play system. It's already plugged in, color coordinated. Even super tech simple people like us can do it, it looks like. And here's some real instructions probably for me to read.
Yes, I'll do the pictures.
We'll look at that in a minute.
I'm going to go ahead and unhook the white line here.
Okay.
And,
I think you can remember how to hook it back up.
yeah, I mean, white goes to white and gray goes to gray, so even I can't mess up.
You're so smart. I'm so proud of you. What is this?
That's the power box.
Power supply.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one thing we are going to have to really test, being that this is going to be an off-grid cabin on solar power,
Yeah.
we're really going to have to see whether or not it's going to suck a lot of juice. That might be a factor for us. We'll have to see.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Once we do the review, we're going to use the thing for a little bit, and then we'll give you an honest review. But that's going to be one of the factors that really plays into whether or not we move forward with something like this.
Yeah, because it does have a feature that heats up the receiver here and melts the ice and snow off of it in the wintertime. So.
Right. Which is cool and it's great because we get a lot of snow up here, but it may take a little bit too much power for our system.
Get this out of here first. So you set that over there. We'll get this out of here. And looks like it just snaps right on there.
Yep. You can see it's kind of big, but at the same time, I guess it's about like your typical satellite dishes with other companies.
Locks right in place.
That's easy.
And then you can mount it down right here with the. It's got holes in it to mount it down with wherever you choose to put it.
Okay.
For now, we're just gonna temporarily put it out here in the just on the ground to see if we can get it to link up and run, and then we'll find a more permanent place later on.
The current system that we're on runs about 3 megabytes per second. 3. That tells you how stressful life can be with kids doing school, me trying to get the business up and going, and just regular life things, because we're a society that runs off of internet. I mean, it's just the way it is, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So that can cause a lot of stress. So I'm really anxious to see what we can get with this.
Well, it's fairly simple and straightforward so far. I mean, if I can hook it up, anybody can.
All right, let's do it.
We're going to go out and try to find a location to set up our Starlink. We're going to use their app. We're going to hit check for obstructions.
So all we gotta do is follow the instructions on the app to find a clear area.
Find the clear sky.
So what is it like when you can see nothing but sky in the camera? I think it said, right?
Yes. Nothing but sky.
Almost fell. Trying to keep up.
And it's only a feet high. So. Right here's a good spot to install it. Nothing but sky in view. We'll put us a marker there. And we'll find the secondary location just in case.
Yeah, and let's have a backup that's not right out in the middle of the area. Is there a way we can?
This is a good spot.
Okay. And if we had to, could we mount it on the house?
This is a good spot over here also to the side.
Okay.
I'll have to get a stand or something to mount it on, put it in the ground, mount it. But this is a good spot. I'll find something to mark this with. That's a good spot too. Alright. Got a couple spots.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be up in the air.
No. Does
Okay.
not have to be.
Oh, he's leaving me. So this is just for to see how it runs.
Initial setup and
We'll find
to see if it'll work for you.
a better permanent spot that's not out in the open like that. Maybe we'll mount it on the house or something.
I'm thinking up on that roof right over there is pretty clear, but I don't have a ladder set up to get up there or nothing right now.
Okay. So once we see if it works and it's worth our investment, we'll find the perfect spot.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm thinking that we'll be able to mount it above our heads here on the roof, somewhere on this side, and it shouldn't have any obstructions
Okay.
when it's a permanent mount.
Okay. The wind might interfere with our sound quality. You lost a stinking marker. Is it right there?
There's one down yonder. We'll try that one first.
There's one right there, sticking straight up.
Well, I know.
You look lost.
I am. You're not recording now.
I am.
Stop it.
No.
All right. Set the base right here. Right here on this marker. You can move the marker actually.
No.
Need to move it because I got to stick this in there. Sure, turd. Hold this.
All right. It's hard to do. So this is just our quick temporary spot that we found closest to the house. How many feet of cord are we supposed to have?
Not sure, 75?
Maybe about 75 feet of cord. We're just gonna, what is it?
What happened?
I was holding it. I was doing my job. The rest of it's on you, boss. Huh?
You got it all tangled up when you let it go.
Did I?
Yes.
Are you criticizing my work?
Yeah, you're terrible with cords. If y'all ever see her roll up an air hose for air compressor, you'd understand this happens all the time.
Not my fault.
So what I'm taking from this is, guys, get one of your buddies to help with the cord, not your wife.
That's not a nice thing to say. Hold on, you're tangled up.
Yeah.
See, you need me for something. What we're gonna do temporarily is we're gonna just run the cord through the kitchen window right there, just to plug it in, because all we really want to do right now is see how this thing works. We've got an idea for a more permanent spot up on the side of the cabin. But honestly, I just want to play with the internet today, so I just want to stick it out in the yard and get started. I didn't want to wait for the mount. So I'm ready to plug it in and plug and play. Okay, so the receiver is now set up outside. According to these instructions, you are not to move the receiver with your hand, so we did not. It's just set up out there. This will automatically move itself to face the satellite, which is a really cool feature. So we didn't touch that, we just set it up. We're about to plug it in, and then we'll set it up on the phone and see what happens.
So you see how simple it is. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3.
Right. And there's some more setup instructions in the app.
So I'm going to plug into the power source. I'm going to plug in the gray to the gray and the white into the white. And you see them lighting up. Okay, now let's do the setup on the app.
I can't help but wonder if it already moved once you plugged it in. Can't see it.
We'll know in a minute.
Can you remember where it was facing?
It's standing straight up now.
Oh, it moved.
Huh?
It moved already.
Yeah.
So the satellite's already, the receiver's already turned itself in the direction of the satellite just by us plugging it in. So now we're going to set it up through the app and we're going to see what happens. Y'all, we're all over the place testing this thing out. Jeff has been up the hill to Mom's. I'm up the ladder in our bedroom. We're going all over the place, just seeing how strong the signal stays. Just testing it out everywhere we would drop a signal or a call or whatever. We're running YouTube videos. We are doing everything we can to test this thing out, and it is working like a charm. Jeff is now begging me to put the TV in. Excuse the generator in the background, but I wanted to update you guys on the Starlink. We are testing it out again today, and it is picking up pretty well, but you can see that we've got a lot of cloud coverage today, and there are a lot of frequent yet brief breaks in the service. So I guess that can be frustrating if you're coming from something like Spectrum or something like that, but for us, coming from almost nothing, this still works pretty well for us. But again, we may try a different location just to see if we can find a better spot, but I'm pretty sure it's the cloud coverage that's interfering. So we wanted to give you guys an update since we've been using the Starlink now for just over a month. And honestly, we do love it. It's been great. Compared to what we were using, and we're just going to say who it was, because for rural internet users, you do not have many options, but we had CenturyLink before, and honestly, it was terrible. I'm not trying to bash any companies, but I'm going to just be honest with you guys and say that not only the customer service wasn't great, but the service was absolutely terrible.
And the price was through the roof.
Yeah, the price was ridiculous for the speeds that you were getting if the service worked at all. So now with Starlink, since we've been testing this out for a while, it has been pretty good. We have had some outages, but honestly for seconds, 60 seconds or less. I mean, we would notice it went out and it would come right back. Yeah. The speed has been great. The kids they've been watching TV today. We have a TV up in our upper bedroom. We can be on the phones, the computer, all of that, and it doesn't slow it down. So it's been really a huge blessing for us. So we really want to just kind of give you guys an honest review.
One thing that I have noticed is since the trees are full, I've had to kind of move the dish around a little bit because the trees we have a big wall of trees around us, and since they are full leaves now, I've had to move it a little bit because we were having some outages with that, but that's the only issue. We were having blockages. So.
And that's another cool thing is the app can tell you that you're getting so many obstructions, so many hours or minutes or whatever of obstruction a day, so you can kind of get an idea. Like if you see frequent outages, maybe the spot you chose was not that great, and you can check the app and it'll tell you throughout a 24-hour period you have maybe 4 hours of outages. So then that might tell you to look for a better spot. And we did move it, and it's been fine. So and we also got to help my parents install theirs yesterday, and they have been happy with it too. Yeah. So if you asked us if we recommend it, yes we do.
Absolutely, no doubt.
For what you're going to pay, I realize it seems like a lot up front, but it's worth it over time, especially because you're going to be paying for the equipment, and that amount of money every month with another service is going to give you more inconveniences, we'll put it that way. So it's worth the money. It's worth it. Very little time to set it up. I mean, honestly, it's not a whole lot of trouble at all.
It's easy.
It's plug and play.
And keep in mind also that this whole system is still in test stages.
Right, right.
They're putting up more satellites. They have more planned for this year, and so the service is just going to get better and better. And like the options that we had, like she said, expensive, very poor service, poor customer service.
Right.
And this is hands down the best option that there is out here in these rural areas. There's no doubt.
It has been a blessing. We've gotten a lot more done having this installed. Just going to do a quick speed test, real time for you guys. We got 68, which honestly is a little low. We usually we're up in the hundreds, but this is still good, especially when we were getting 4 or less with CenturyLink.
Yes.
I mean, this is huge compared to that. So this right here would not slow anything down that we're doing here. And for rural internet services, I'm telling you, there's HughesNet, costs a fortune. I've heard nothing but bad things about it. My own experience with CenturyLink, terrible. There's another, I don't remember the name, but anyway, they're not good. So if you're really considering Starlink, I would jump on it now.
So.
Yeah, so there you have it. We love it. If anything changes, we'll let you guys know. If something tanks with it, we'll be honest with you and let you know that too. We are not sponsored by anybody, so we're not getting anything to tell you this. It's just honest review. We have a lot of friends, new friends up here since we moved, who have had trouble and a handful of them have went to Starlink. So
And they love it.
yeah, and they love it too. So if you're thinking about it, if you're in the same situation as us, you're out in the middle of nowhere and there's no service, Spectrum won't reach you, your Verizon stinks, whatever, I would consider it. I really would. It's worth it.